everyone, today we're going to make sausage in bread using one of the frozen pizza doughs we made in the last video. So in case you're wondering how to make a pizza dough and how to prepare them for freezing, we have a video of that. And if you can see, the dough we're using here is a little bit tacky and hard to shape or flatten, and that's because I was a little bit impatient and I used the dough even though it's not completely thawed out. One way to remedy it is by using a little bit of butter or oil to grease your hands, the surface of the dough, the rolling pin, and the baking sheet or paper. And the best way, because I made this the next day, is to, and this is what I did, is to leave the dough inside the oven for and just use the residual heat of the oven, so it's not turned on but just has a little bit of heat, and that gives you an additional benefit of letting the dough rise a little bit if there are yeasts still alive in your dough. And now we're using the sausage, Hungarian sausage, just wiping it with the tissue. Hungarian sausage, wiping off the excess water because it also came from the freezer, and I left the skin on because I like it that way. And so very impatient me. And now we're going to roll it inside the dough, and what we're going to do is use how you make a sushi. That's like how you roll a sushi, that's how you roll this one too. I find that that's the best technique so far. If you have another technique of rolling in the sausage inside the dough, then just share it with everyone. And make sure that all the seams are tucked together. I mean, they are pinched together, no gaps, especially the ends as well. And I made this the next day after I did this one and added cheese inside, and that was also amazing. And what we're going to do after this is put it in the oven for just a few minutes to let it rise a little bit. And I'm also going to put a slice of butter inside the oven, just residual heat, a small amount of heat, just to make it rise a little bit. So I'm adding the butter inside the pan because I forgot to melt butter ahead of time. So while the dough is rising, I'm going to use that heat to melt the butter, and then after I let the dough rise, I will wipe the butter into the dough so that when it bakes, it has a golden brown color. There you go, magically the butter appears. And that's what we're going to do. I was thinking if I should just use my hands, but YouTube video, I don't want to gross you out, guys. But if so, that's what I would have done. I would have just used my hands, but to not gross you out, I'm using this brush. Don't worry, after an insane amount of brushing of the butter, we finally put it back inside, and this time we're going to bake it at 170, and for 30 to 40 minutes is the same time that we use in making or baking our pizza. And so I figured that would also be a good length of time for us to cook this bread or sausage and bread. So after 10 minutes of cooking in that temperature, this is how it's looking. And then after a while, I think additional 5 more minutes, this is how it looks now, or after 10 more minutes. So I decided to flip. I want to see how it looked at the bottom, or if I need to move it around. So I decided that I would do that because this is the first time I'm making this as well. So it's an experiment for both of us. And by looking at things, I mean, I uploaded the video, so I find it probably worked out well. So I saw the bottom and it was cooking well, so I didn't need to flip it, and I just decided to let it go back in to finish the cooking process. So this dough recipe, the pizza dough recipe, you can use it for so many things. You can use it for just a flatbread, anything. Oh, by the way, at this point, I stopped cooking it and I decided, hey, we can go ahead and eat it. So impatient. And then I just put it on top of a rack to let it cool down a little bit before slicing it. Wow, it's looking amazing. I wasn't really sure what to expect. I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't think it would be bready at all. I thought it would just be crust, and then the sausage would just be shaking inside, and it will be hollow. But I'm glad that the bread wrapped it a little bit and made it snug, and it turned out really, really well. No juices oozing outside the bun or the bread, and it reminded me of the sausage crust or thing that I think Pizza Hut is selling. So it reminded me of that. Would be great to dip it in condensed milk if you want diabetes or just want to taste that. But also amazing with ketchup and mustard, conventional ketchup and mustard, and everything is falling. Now that's behind the scenes of how I don't know how to prepare it to make it look good, but yeah, that's how I just presented it to you. And I hope that looks appealing enough for you to try it, because it tasted amazing. So imagine if you put cheese inside with maybe a little bit of tomato sauce, then it would taste like pizza. I would imagine that's how it would taste like. Maybe put ketchup and mustard already inside. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. And that's why I repeated the next day, but this time with cheese inside. This is how the end looked like, and I think the juice oozed out of the sausage and soaked into the bun, which was amazing also. So hope you try this recipe and have a great day.